And we are live. We're not live. Oh, wow. Just as well we tested it with us, right? Yep. And we're live.
Are we?
That wasn't very helpful, was it?
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
But we're actually live in life most times. But you mean specifically this?
This was specifically live.
I've got a thumbs up from Pete as well. You can't see that because there should be a mirror here, shouldn't they? So you can always see his
So
face.
is Peter putting fingers up behind my back?
No, he's thumbs up.
Oh, thumbs up.
Fingers up, a different thing.
Whoa, stop.
It's fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
We are in March. The weather is terrible.
Yes, it was just chucking it down on the way in.
But clock's changed.
That's this weekend, isn't it?
Well, it will be, but yeah, I guess it will.
So officially, from this weekend, we're in spring.
Yeah, it's sort of Sunday morning 2 o'clock.
So we're coming out of the mental health sadness period of the year.
Now you don't need that light to wake you up in the morning. You can just actually use sun.
Sunlight.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to?
I have been helping some friends. Yeah, I think so a couple of my friends have been having a bit of a tough time. Mm-hmm. And so I've just I went down and saw a few people and chatted through some stuff that was going on in their lives. And one of my closest friends had a death in the family and has a young child, and life is just tough, isn't it? When
a few people have reached out to me in the last couple of days. It started with one of the guys that reached out, bless him. Hi, is this Scott? And do you help people with mental health problems?
You're like, no. Wrong Scott.
No, mate, sorry. But obviously, yeah, bless him. He's going through a very tough time. He obviously tried to do something stupid a couple of days ago and realised by reaching out, he's got more of a chance of getting through his problems by talking about it and little things like that. So obviously, I've got a few people. People even found me at the gym on Monday. Yeah, Monday. I walked out of the gym straight to somebody that was looking for me to help them in the gym with their mental health.
Wow!
So that was a whole different weird experience, and that come through the podcasting. Obviously, seen it and knew where I was, and come down to reach out for help.
I feel like people just need people to listen. I think we were talking about that before we started this podcast. There's quite a lot of people in the studio today, so I think it's kind of important to sort of be that nice
for him so far.
Shoulder,
for the guys. Yeah, his words was to me this morning, because obviously I reached out to him again this morning and said that you've got this. I'm in your corner, and his words back was on the voice note was, just by knowing somebody's in my corner made it all the difference for him.
Oh, it makes the biggest thing. If someone just goes, yeah, I understand, instead of being like, what's wrong with you? You're like, okay, that's not helpful.
Because he's like, I felt alone. I felt like that nobody understood what I was going through. And I was like, mate, I'm here every step of the way to help you. Just even by having a conversation backwards and forwards, I can point you in the right direction, because I've massively made these mistakes myself and overthought something that wasn't wasn't complicated. But obviously I saw when your mental health's not in the right place, it can be overwhelming, really.
It is a live episode. What is your first and favourite episode that we've done?
This one.
Oh, what? We haven't finished it. What are you talking about? You can't say this
one. It's got to be the favourite one because it's going out live.
Such a cop-out. That's fine.
No, the one that I liked the most is Mental Health Curable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have come back to that quite a few times.
Yeah, the response that we got on that one, that opened a whole debate on, but it got people talking, and that was the whole point of it was...
People got angry, didn't they? They got angry.
Some people loved it, some people got angry, some people saw it, but it obviously gets the word out there and means people are actually paying attention that there is obviously people that need to talk about mental health and have different opinions on it.
It's Scott check-in time. Okay, quickly on this one. Mental health rating out of 10. 10 being the worst feeling ever, that your darkest place, and 1 being like, okay. Is that the right way around? I don't know if that... fine. Yeah, just lower down, it feels better.
Lower end, yeah.
How are you feeling today, in this moment? What is your rating? Go.
Probably about 2.
A 2?
A 2, yeah. I'm having a good day today.
A good day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not quite. I don't think... I very rarely have the one where it's no problem, because obviously if that was the case, I think I'd be cured.
We've got people behind the camera. You might not see them and you might not hear them. You might hear them a little bit. Pete is also producing this wonderful podcast, as always. Pete, do you have a mic, or do you have no mic today? Just using your fingers, how are you feeling on the scale of 1 to 10 of mental healthness? What are you going to do? Is it Okay, so he's gone the other way. So he's 0. We're going to say 0.
Oh wow!
So it's fine. He's in a good place, but always in a good place, isn't he? I want what he's having.
He's very chilled, isn't he?
I want what he's having. You know what I mean?
But also, Peter, obviously, I know we're live on the YouTube right now. I'm assuming people can comment live, right?
Oh, but the 3 people. Yeah, we've got that.
6. We've got.
Yeah, we've got some thumbs up over there. Just hands up in the air. How are you feeling? So 10 is like the worst feeling, and 0 is like the best feeling. I don't know why it's that way around, but today it is. Where are you going with, guys? I want you to be doing it at home. We've got a 1 here. We've got a 2. We're saying got 2 as well. That's
Actually,
cool.
I've just got a text. We're live in Southampton as well right now.
I thought you were going to say South Africa. That'd be amazing. Hello to people in Southampton.
good enough.
That's fine. It's not that far away, but it's fine.
It's 30 miles away.
It is 30. Can we find out how far away Southampton is? I'm going to say 63 miles.
63, really?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's saying that A34.
I'm going to say 3. I'm saying a 3. 3 is from mine. So.
Right, and why 3?
I think because... Have you ever seen a film of Green Mile?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the character takes away people's like illnesses and stuff like that, and I feel like when people tell you stuff and blah blah, blah I think a little dregs of it stick with you, and I just sort of now I'm sort of worrying a little bit, not crazy worry, but worrying a little bit about that sort
of
of
side. Is that from helping other your pick?
Yeah, I think it affects me as well. Like it's hard to. I think if I was just doing it with strangers, it's fine. But if I, if I was just chatting with strangers, it's fine. But if I'm talking to friends and family, I think it sticks too long. Did we get how far away Southampton was? It's 54 miles, so it's a bit closer. Than that,
well, it's closer to yours than it was mine.
Yeah, that's
so that means that's quite an achievement. 54 miles, we're reaching live.
I mean, come on, it's all good.
Did you even get that much on when you was on X Factor?
Never. What? That many followers or viewers?
Reaching that lot when you was out the live?
That far? No, I only went as far as Newbury.
As far as Newbury.
That was it. That was all I could take.
Yeah. That. So obviously I achieved more than
you. You've achieved so much more than me. So let's go with that.
So I might move my mental health from a 2 to a 1. Just knowing the fact that I'd reach further than you.
Let's also, if we can try and do this, you can balance out. You can do a little vote of who talks more in this podcast, because it actually is Scott's podcast. I'm just the co-presenter, but there was a lot of talking from me, isn't there?
Yeah, that was one of the reasons I got you involved, because obviously when I very first started this, it was like,
But look how far you've come. Look at you now.
Look at this now.
We should go back and do a watch along of the first one we did and see.
Is that not awkward?
Probably for you.
Because I even remember you saying, I'm not getting paid for this.
It's my go-to, isn't it?
Yeah, I get paid for this. I do this for free.
I do it for free.
So obviously we spoke on the last podcast.
Yes.
About your scrapbook.
Oh, yes. I do have a scrapbook. Not that scrapbook, though. Is that? Just a load of numbers. Oh, that's a black book, isn't it? A black book of numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not.
Do you ever have one of those? Just like loads of numbers of like go-tos.
No, I was in a relationship for 20 years.
This could be before. You're an older man, you know. Older man.
I was wondering where you was going with that.
Old man. Older.
Older man.
Older man.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Sorry I didn't meet you in the pub this week. I do feel bad.
No, I was stood there like a lemon.
No, you weren't. You had everyone around you.
One, I ended up drinking both because
you're not very good at drinking, so it's fine. It's true. I was actually with my friend at this point, so I went down to Worthing and we went to the gym. So you'll be happy about that. Went to the gym and talked things through, and then went for a swim, had some food. It was good.
And how do they feel now? Obviously,
I think they're fine. Yes. Anyway. I do have a scrapbook, and I know you won't be able to see this at home, so we'll try and do some pictures and stuff like that. We can put that on the social thing and stuff like that. Yeah. But the main question was, there's a lot of stuff in the news, and there has been for millennia, right? We've always cared about the news and headlines and blah, blah, blah. And my question was, a couple of weeks ago, has the press, not social media, which is kind of the press as well now, but actually just print, has the press changed over time? Is it worse now than it was before, or vice versa, or the same? Where would you say, before we look at anything?
I think it's worse now, surely.
You think it's worse now?
Because there's so many different but they all say the same thing.
But just newspapers. Let's just go with newspapers. Let's not talk about like social media.
So you're not like talking like
no. Just but you can kind of talk about those programs because we have
just
this before.
But talking newspapers.
But probably newspapers, because that's what I've got. So we're not kind of talking about too much.
I think it's just they grasp on stupid weird and wonderful stuff that just exaggerates something.
How do you reckon that makes people feel? Like, if you are, and everyone has an opinion, let's just say Harry and Meghan. Everyone has an opinion about these people, which by the way, they don't know or don't know now.
Yeah.
You know, once people have children and build their own families, everyone changes. All your friends change and your family changes when you have your family, because you have priorities now. You know, they're the most important things than your career or your own family yourself. You know, the one you make is normally more important than you're actually the ones that made you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So your parents could have an idea about who you should be going out with and what you should be doing parenting-wise, but to be honest, your priority is your kids.
Correct.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, so I have a scrapbook about some stuff that happened to me, which I'm going to pass over to you. We don't have to go through all of it, but we'll talk about some of the things in there, and I'd just like to see your opinion about these things, because it is weird, and you can go and check these things out. You can probably Google it. I won't Google my name, but you can kind of Google these things up about these stories, and you can just see this sort of print information. Now, this is 2009.
And this is all newspapers?
This is just newspapers, local and national.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
So my lovely friend's mum, Leslie Bevins, put this together, and what is really funny, there is a story about me and her daughter, but it doesn't really make sense considering what was written completely beforehand.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and is this from when you was actually on?
This was on the show. This is 2009 kind of sort of stuff. So this is like a little thing. So at the beginning, right at the beginning, the date on this first page here that you can't see, but we'll make sure we'll do some colorways and stuff like that. But is August 21st, 2009. So on the 23rd is when the show actually started. So this is 2 days before the show is even on TV. This is a Daily Mail. It's page 3. Oh, I was on page 3. Hello. And
what's the matter with you?
They're focusing on the people that were going to be on the first live show. So that was myself.
Yep.
Stacey Solomon.
Yes.
Jedward. Joe McElderry, and some other people. So if you go a little bit lower, you can sort of see and stuff like that.
With some famous people.
There were some good people there.
Yeah,
there were some good people there. Stacey is absolutely smashing it. This is when she only had one child. You know what I mean? Now she's got, 2,000. So anyway, so they've gone through a little headline there, the Essex Factor. And it seems quite nice, quite jovial. We've not done any press yet.
Yep.
So this is when, and we had auditioned for the show in May, June time. So it's been a couple of months before it actually goes live in air. And even when it does come out, that doesn't mean we know we're through to any other segments of the show right now. It was like, I think I was going to judges' houses, but I wasn't at judges' houses for this situation. So it seems quite nice and it's quite jovial.
I was about to say, it doesn't seem...
Of course not, because I haven't done an interview. Nothing's actually happened. So if we sort of turn the page, there's element of they go straight in about family heartache behind the scenes of X Factor Best Audition. So I've auditioned now, and there's already stories. They've already messaged every single person on my Facebook.
So, what? They messaged?
They message every single person on my Facebook to sell stories.
Wow.
So you can't really do anything about a situation, because in the end, I think that you can get, anyone will sell you out, and especially the people they asked the story
for the right price.
I'm 27, so a life has been lived.
Yes.
I'm not 19, I'm 27. Stacey is 19, you know what I mean? So there's less stuff, blah, blah, blah. There's still stuff, but that's what they went for. So we're just going a little bit forward. There's those little bits and blah 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 and stuff, and they'll find some pictures of me, and I'm with Kate Lawler, who used to be with Big Brother. I'm in a picture with her, nothing to do with her. I'm like the other side of her and stuff like that. And yet again, you can Google all this stuff, and then anyway, this one's quite fun. So this is the day of the show going out live on TV. So it's not on TV yet.
So that's the 23rd of August, 2009.
Yes. And this story happened because I did an interview with The Mirror. I didn't realize it was The Mirror. I always thought it was the News of the World. But anyway, here we go. It's The Mirror. And they asked me a question. They said, have you had any girlfriends? And I said, yeah. And then he asked the question, how many? Now, in this room, I don't know if you want to answer that question about how many people you've been out with in your life. Because if you give them a number, they're going to try and find them.
Yep, of course they are.
So I was just like, well, I'm probably not going to answer that question. It's fine. And they were like, oh, have you ever had a boyfriend? And I said, yeah. And it's like, oh, how many? And I was like, yeah, again, probably not going to answer that question. Then they changed the tact and they said, what do you think about Danny and Cheryl? Do you reckon they're pretty? I was like, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? They're at the top of the game. They're doing really well. You know, the judges and X Factor, blah, blah, blah. They've been around for, the last couple of series. Doing really well. He's like, oh, what about Simon and Louis? Do you think they're handsome? I said, yeah, of course. They're distinguished. They're distinguished people, well dressed. And if you read the head title, the title of this, what's it say?
X Factor, I'll get by.
Spelled B-I.
B-I.
And if you read the top here, it says X Factor, Daniel fancies Danny, Cheryl, and Simon. What about Louis? Bless him. And I didn't even tell my mom I was doing the show. I don't know if that's true, but straight away they started going on my sexuality first.
Because it sells, right?
First up.
Yeah.
Super 2009. Blah, blah, blah. We'll just go a bit forward and we'll get to the topic that I want to sort of speak about and stuff like that. When I did the show, something happened and Danny Minogue said something on the show, which we could later on do a little watch along and we can talk about that if we want to. But it's one of the biggest moments that happened to me on X Factor. It was a really tough situation. And people would say that people are still annoyed about it now. People said that she outed me on the show and all this sort of stuff. But I was 27. I came out when I was like 16. So I was just like, okay, that's not true. The story didn't happen that way. But what she did wasn't great. Yeah, again, you can watch it. It's the first live show of the show. And I just changed the gender reference of the song. And I just said, you're the best girl. And she said, well, why did you say that? If we believe everything we read in the papers.
Yeah.
And someone was like, what? This is live show. This is like 15 million people watching the show. And she's talking about stuff. This is show number 1. Anyway, so there's like a little bit of stuff going on between me and Danny. By the way, none of this seems real to me. This is so long ago. It's crazy that me and Danny Minogue were having like Kylie was tweeting at me and stuff like that. It's just weird. Now I work with Jason. My thinking is, right, we're just going to go forward here. So there's some, and local press was great. Absolutely incredible. Like Get Reading and stuff like that were just, the Reading Post and stuff like that. Really, 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 really lovely. Then there was a news story. If you read that headline, what does it say?
Daniel's 100% gay.
That's the story, right? Straight from, I don't know what paper this is, but yeah, one of the main papers. You're like, okay, cool. So that's what they're going for and stuff like that. And then just clip forward here, and this is really controversial situation, right? Read this title here.
Daniel was the love of my life, but he dumped me for a man. Oh my God. Dumped me for a man.
Okay. So there's a narrative in this situation. Now she might have not said that. It could have been just part whatever. But this is a person that I knew and grew up with.
Okay.
How old was I when I did the show?
27.
Yeah. How old do you reckon I was when I went out with this girl?
19, 20?
Just 16.
We're live, right? I can't really say what I want to say, right?
No. And you're doing this show that's worldwide, millions of people watching, and this is what's being filtered in this whole time. And I thought, I'm not going to say this girl's name, but I thought she was getting paid £10,000. Well, I found out recently, nah.
More?
Yep.
Sorry, what? So to sell that story, how much was her price?
I don't know the price, but I know it was much more.
What, to get her to...
And when I spoke to a friend of mine who was friends with this girl, she was very taken aback that she thought it happened when I was in my mid-20s. That title would even suggest...
I would have said, 19, 20, yeah.
And when I said it was 16, she was like, what? And we went out for 5 months. Yeah, there's a silence there. Now, I'm not going to give anyone a hard time and stuff like that. You do what you want to do and it's all fine. But the elements of the press and everything that happened in there, and for me, mental health-wise, I was all over the place. I didn't know who I could trust at all. No
I
one from the
suppose you
past.
couldn't even trust certain family because you were worried
No.
about they obviously know certain parts about your
Yeah,
life. Because
yeah.
anybody that sits there says they haven't got a skeleton in the closet kind of thing.
Well, I think my own sister said that I sometimes get angry. I was like, who doesn't? But don't say it to a paper. It sounds like I beat you up. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Just because,
Gets angry.
yeah, it gets angry in the car. Well, who doesn't get angry in the car? You know what I mean? It sounds stupid, but it's one of those things that I find incredibly weird to look
Did
back
she
on.
actually say them words though?
Who knows?
Oh, so the person that so she got paid
Yeah.
money
Yeah, to sell a story.
to sell a story.
Yeah. And they will say to me that they asked permission to do it, and I said, don't do it. And they said, if you do it, it's on your own head. By the way, you can Google this up. I'm not naming and shaming anyone. You can Google this up yourself. If you're willing to sell yourself for to kiss and tell, then that's going to be on your record forever, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
But then how do you reckon it works on their mental health? Because they're still part of a friendship group that I'm with.
What?
Yeah.
For what? Oh. Yeah, that's. It's annoyed me. It wasn't even about me.
No. But yeah, anyway, so 100% gay, right? And then they start writing this story, and this was the last thing I'll sort of talk about, because this is the thing of the press and stuff like that. What's the title at the end there? So that's the girl for Dan. So Nat's the girl for Dan. And then they started saying, then I'm going out with my best friend, right? She lived near the house, so we could just catch up and stuff like that. And she's married. I had to phone her husband to be like, by the way, this is not true.
See, yeah, that just draws so many people in from one thing, doesn't it?
It's crazy. And so my whole roundabout thing about this situation is that in life, this is what's written and stuff like that. And most things happen in life that are not written. But none of this is real.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes in life when we're having discussions or we're upset or annoyed or there's agendas or whatever, also none of that.
But do you not think
is
we
real.
do that to ourselves? We make it more dramatic to make yourself feel better.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we do love the fact of dramatizing conversation.
My sister's a perfect example. I don't know, obviously this is to do with press and local press.
Yeah.
So obviously, did you hear what happened in Beanham?
No, but I want to talk about something else as well. Yeah, go.
So basically, not yesterday, day before, there was a guy. So they've got someone on social media has put up there a guy. They shut down the school. They locked down the school, and the way my sister sold it to me through social media and what the papers have put out there, it was an American gun, and it was all this and all the rubbish that goes with it. It was a guy with an air rifle shooting pigeons. They locked down a school. The dramatic, for mental health wise, my niece. Her friend sent it to her on Snapchat that somebody had sent off a gossip off of this, and then Evening Post got it and all the rest of it. She won't go to school now because she's scared of getting shot because of all the social media, everything. And I've had to say to her, no, that's the guy. It was an air rifle. He was shooting a pigeon. He's not an American drive-by. You're a Beanham in the middle of nowhere.
It only takes one person to say it there.
And that's truly what you say. But the papers, get Reading of gunman. The guy was shooting pigeons over a field.
But it gets eyeballs, doesn't it?
And that's what I mean. They selling purposely for it, and it was dramatic.
And it's all headlines, because guess what I got you to do? I got you to read headlines all this time. Like I didn't get you to read the article, because if you read the article, you'd be like, oh, okay.
But from that article, it's affected my niece to the point she won't go to school now.
100%. Can we switch conversations?
Go on then.
I don't know if we were going to bring this up at all, and and you can look through this and stuff like that, so it's fine. Really sad news last week of a school teacher locally, Caversham Park School. They had an Ofsted report that was happening, and I know my friends are teachers. Bernie's a teacher. There's the things you worry about.
Yeah, because it's
because if you get an inadequate rating. Now, who knows what was going on, but this school apparently was looking to fail.
Okay.
And what I know of, without knowing the ins and outs, and this is complete love to the family, one of the teachers, I'm assuming it's the head, we can find out a little bit more as well, killed herself.
Sorry, what? Because of the Ofsted report?
Mm-hmm. No, don't get me wrong. I was talking to my friend. He says he works in the banks, and there's sort of the similar report, and it's terrible if you get an inadequate sort of rating. I mean, in those situations, when you went through the stuff you were going through,
Yeah.
was work a massive point of why you wanted to kill yourself?
It was part of it, yeah.
It's always
a sense
part
of
isn't it?
it's because obviously work is your life as well, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
not just
We were there probably more than at home.
yeah, the amount of hours I put in, yeah, 100%. It was also part of what caused my mental health, because obviously the jobs and bits and pieces. But so yeah, I suppose I get where you're going with that.
I hate that it's a talking point, but it's local.
Mm-hmm.
I've known people to go to the school that probably would know this person, and I think work is important, and failing, it never feels good, but it's the only time that we learn
Correct.
or strengthen or become better.
Resilient. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm assuming when people do stuff like that, when it happened to you, you did it because you felt there was no way out. But if you've already spoken about it, the family members and stuff like that they were like, there is. Like, you have to stick around.
And that's the bit I didn't speak out.
No.
I didn't. I bottled it all up, took it personally in my own head, fighting the demons, bits and pieces. It was my reality. For that perfect example, who knows what they were thinking, and obviously took it personally. It's not, when you got in that dark zone in the mental health problems that you can have, your brain is that worst enemy you could come across. You can make a scenario that wasn't meant that way and twist it in your own head. And you are your own worst enemy, because you exaggerate it, you change the narrative of it, you change the whole thing. And some of the stuff that happened to me at work, it wasn't a problem. And then obviously once it started spinning, you can find a negative in anything, even in a positive. You can find a negative into it.
Of course.
And that's where I think this person's gone. I think she took the whole blame. It was a woman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she took the whole blame on her shoulders. But if you're truly honest about it, was it her fault?
No, it's never one person's fault. Ever. You might be at the top of the tree. You might get the harshest
Consequence.
Yeah. But you're not, it's not on just you, it's everyone. You know what I mean? Everyone fails together. And then you pick yourself up, and from the lowest point, there's only one way to go, isn't there?
Once
You can stay there. You can stay there if you want to, but when you're at the bottom of the ladder, you have
the
to go.
guy I was speaking to this morning, the advice I gave him, you can only hit rock bottom once. Once you're there, the only way is to go back up, and you will come out stronger than you went down.
And even if you go back down again, you already be like, I know what to do here.
But you got the tools or the strength. For me, like, if now when I have PTSD bits and pieces, I can separate. Whereas before, I couldn't do this podcast. At the very beginning of all the mental health, if I was having a bad day, that was it. Done. Where now is I've learnt the tools.
Or we speak about it. You give us content then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not really one to hold things back and not say. Sometimes you overshare, which I kind of like.
But at the beginning, I didn't.
No.
But I find it's a relief for me. Whereas before, I see it as a weakness. And I think if people just realise that some of the stuff that you do and say to people, like, she took that very personally. I don't obviously know what she failed on the Ofsted report for. But
I don't even think she got that far that they did fail. I think they were going to fail, or they just found out maybe. But I think.
But did she suffer with mental health problems beforehand, or
I mean, put your hand up if you don't. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be something. It could be something at home. It could be something with anything. It could be something in your own health or whatever. And then that was a straw camel back situation.
Yeah, it's obviously trying to fight yourself out of that dark zone once you're in there. I don't think I would be here without certain people accepting that I had a problem and didn't judge me. I think if everybody's judging you, it's very hard to not look for a way out.
Do you reckon you still judge?
I have, yeah, and it's not until afterwards. Whereas before I would have been, like my sister-in-law especially, before I went through mental health, my sister-in-law, I'd be like, what do you mean you can't come out with us because of your anxiety? What do you mean you've got to sit there? And obviously I gave her so much. Like even when I paid for everyone, the family to go away on holiday, what do you mean you can't come? I've paid for it. It's not like you've got to do anything. All you've got to do is get on a plane. And she couldn't do it because of her anxiety. She couldn't physically get out the plane. If she needed to exit, she obviously clearly couldn't because we'd all be dead. But it wasn't until I experienced it. And even now, every now and then, she's like, well, no, I can't. And for a split second, because it's a natural thing to do, it's, what? Not, no, it's got, you've put yourself in her situation. What would you? Oh, yeah. But it's now not having the knowledge. Everybody judges the next person. But until you go through it, even now I do judge, go, no, yeah, I can relate to that now. Because I've been through that journey. Now I get your point. But every person judges. And the first thing that pops in their head, they will judge. Anybody that sits here and says they don't is a liar.
Oh, I'm the most judgmental person ever.
Yeah, you definitely
are. But not always bad. Like, I can judge people and like, wow, you look amazing. I don't say it.
Oh, yeah, you've never said it to me.
Because I don't need to say it, because you should know how amazing you look. Don't look at others. It's fine.
Oh.
Can we, we'll move on from that, but if anyone needs any help, there's so many places to go.
Yes.
And talk to, and if you even just want to talk to us and tell us your story. Some people have reached out, actually. My old tattoo artist, he said that he is up for coming. He lives in Portsmouth, Plymouth, actually, and he said, so even further afield, he said he would maybe come up and talk, and he's got loads of stuff to talk about. He came to me saying that. So
yeah, if you want to obviously tell your story or use this as also a way of helping your mental health by telling and explaining and showing people that they're not alone, go for it. We're up for it.
Definitely.
Obviously, we will shut him up so you can actually have your say for 2 minutes.
You could just put gaffer tape.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're going to talk about some things that are also going on right now. So, do you watch TV?
Yes.
Amazing. Do you watch Netflix? Do you have a Netflix account?
I do have a Netflix
If not,
account.
you can steal it from your friend. Don't do that. We'll get in trouble.
Well, they're stopping that now anyway, aren't they?
Well, they say that, but is it true? So, because I'm in two different locations, like, you know what I mean? But it's my account. It's still me watching it in two different locations.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was from this month, wasn't it?
Who knows? They've got to be careful about doing stuff like that because they don't actually have any of the other products.
Never mind.
It's fine. There is a film out called Fall. Not The Fall, with Gillian Anderson.
Is that the one with the tower?
It is the one with the tower.
I've watched it.
Did you watch it? Oh, that's great that we can talk about this. Okay, cool. Right, so with no spoiler alert on this, so we're not going to tell too many things in spoilers, but anyway, two people climb a tower, pretty much. The beginning's quite tough.
Mm-hmm.
About rock climbing, something happens, an incident, and then it's the aftermath of that before the climbing of the tower. How do you felt they dealt with that situation on this film, of that storytelling of what happened, and then also the sort of what that person felt like after it happened?
I think they changed it accordingly to sell the movie.
What do you mean?
Because witnessing what she witnessed.
Yeah. Do you reckon she wouldn't have done it?
No. There's
But what if it's
way.
like? But what if that is your passion? That's what you do.
Nah.
And someone, has an accident in front of you. I don't know. I felt like
It's not an accident, was it? There's more than an accident.
Well, it was an accident. No spoilers, right? No. So it happens in the first 5 minutes. So, but what? So they move the film on, and in the end, a friend of theirs says, "Oh, let's go climbing. We're going to climb this radio tower," which is hella tall. I'm not scared of heights. My friend is, right? And we watched it together.
It actually gave me anxiety watching
It's
it.
intense.
Yeah.
I actually think for a low
I
budget,
nearly had to switch it off.
£3 million it cost, right? That's a very low budget film. Okay, I thought it was very good. I thought the acting was quite good in it. There's the person who plays his dad is famous from Walking Dead, and some other things. But the concept of facing your fears, I think that's what it's about.
Do you reckon she'll do it again?
Wait, no spoilers on her, but no.
Right, that's my point.
But well,
You don't think she damaged her mental health from going through it?
I mean,
Right.
it damaged mine.
In fairness, I nearly had to switch it off.
But you can't because it's actually quite good storytelling.
It's very good in the sense of it drew me in,
Yeah.
but it did trigger my PTSD.
Of course it would. It triggered something in me. I was just like,
oh, no. Why would you? Hang on, you're walking up, you're climbing up. No, could you not see that bolt?
no, because that was for us, not for them.
Yeah, but no, but come on. Come on. And this is a spoiler.
Don't what? No.
Come on.
No. Don't say anything. You have to go and watch it. It is on Netflix. If you can't watch it on yours because you don't have it, find someone else's and watch it at their house and whatever. But it's worth watching.
But honestly, if that happened to you, would you have done it?
If the first thing happened, if a friend got hurt doing a parachute jump, would I do a parachute jump again? Maybe just to conquer my fears about it. I have the thing that I went go-karting with friends, and a friend of mine who actually just left today, a friend of mine hadn't been go-karting this thing before, and at the beginning you have to go like, on green, and then they go amber, so you go slow, and then red is stop. He didn't see the stop sign, and he crashed into me when I was standstill, which made me instantly throw up, like I was concussed. And I threw up, sorted myself out, got back in the car, went in it. I find it too hard to be in that car anymore, in the go-kart car. I just can't do it. Even though I try to put myself back into it. But I feel like in the end, I still need to do it, even though I was in a karting accident. It wasn't, no one got overly hurt, but it did affect my confidence about having anyone behind me or trusting anyone wasn't going to do it again, because I felt really, really bad when that happened. So, I mean, you can try and get me to do it, but then I'm going to get you to do something that you don't want to do. It's fine. Yeah, so that's sort of facing your fears, and I think that's what she was doing.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're not facing your fears?
No, I think it involves that one to make it worse. Oh, come on.
You don't know what's going to make it worse, though, do you?
No. I do. It's a very good film.
Go and watch it.
And I just didn't like the ending.
I've got something for you to ponder on and see what you think about this little 4-line saying that I came up with yesterday, actually. So, I think what we need to do is we need to focus on what we want. And then only think about what we don't want. But right now, I think that we focus on what we don't want and only think about what we do. And I think our focus is on the wrong thing. And so if you look at that, we're just focusing on things that we don't want to happen. But what we should be focusing on is things we want to happen. You can think about just a thought, that's fine. Okay, I thought about, that's quite bad if that happens. But if you focus, and I think a lot of people right now are focusing on what they don't want.
Yeah.
And only thinking about what they do. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important if we can try and change that mindset.
It's not so easy, though, is it?
Okay, give up, bye. Cool. But funny thing about the easy situation, right? If you take the easy road, the easy street, guess how many people have taken the easy road and the easy street?
Well, you're telling me you don't take the easy street?
Not really.
Why?
Because everyone else is on it.
If you can get A to B easy, would you take it?
No, because everyone else is on it. It will take you just as long.
So, your mental health's bad. You're scoring more of a 9. If you could get from a 9 to a 1 the easy way, would you take it?
No.
Why?
Because it's not real.
No, rubbish. Of course you would.
It's not real. You haven't done the steps. You don't know how. So you can easily go back straight up. If you can go to a 1 that quickly, you can easily go to a 9 that quickly. But if you take those tiny steps down and know those steps and where you are, then it's better. It takes longer.
It is better, but humankind will take the easy option.
Yeah, that's where everyone else is, scrambling at the easy option. That road of easy option will be so full. The road of hard option, literally no one's there. No one's there.
Yeah, it's like the M25, no one on it.
Yeah. Like if you go on the M25 at 1 in the morning to do what you need to do, no one's there. You go 1 in the afternoon, everyone's there.
Correct. Yeah.
But it's easier. No. It's easier if we leave at 1 in the afternoon. We'll be there at this time. Okay. But what if you just go for the harder route and be like, well, we're gonna get up. That's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to drive through. but there's going to be no one there, and it's going to take us half the amount of time than it would do if everyone was there. Which one's better?
All right. Why do you do this to me every time, man? Every time. Yeah, okay. Everybody already knows the answer. I don't need to answer that one. Yes, of course you would take the hard route.
The easy route is so easy. That's why you shouldn't take it. That's why you shouldn't take it. You learn nothing. You learn nothing from the easy route. You only learn from the hardest things that happen. That's how you learn. You learn how to ride your bike because you fall off your bike. That's how you learn. I think
everybody needs to go through some sort of hardship to prepare them for the worst days, right?
Well, sort of. I mean, preparing for the worst days. I'm going to tell you, in this time and age, the worst days are very, very light. Compared to what? Compared to history?
Oh.
You want to live in any other time than now? The hard days? I would take the hard days now than I would take 100 or 200 or 1,000. Or how long has humanity been around? 30,000, 100,000. What, you want to live there and take the hard times then? Or are you choosing now?
It just puts you on the spot.
Do you know what encourages me even more? People behind the camera doing this. I can see them.
You can see them. You just kind of put me in an awkward situation.
Why?
Because I know you're right, and I just don't want to admit that you're right.
Oh, this opens up things about relationships, doesn't it? Really? Is this what you had in relationships sometimes? You know they're right, and you wouldn't admit that they're right?
I don't know what the right answer is.
It's live. It's fine.
Yeah, you don't know who's watching live, though, do you?
No, of course not.
Could you imagine your ex watching? I knew I was right.
Then why? But if they're right, why wouldn't you let them be right?
Because it's just natural not to, is it?
Why?
Because who wants to be wrong?
But where does it get you?
Well, divorce for one.
Yeah, true. Well, for not ever letting them be right.
No, it was me. They didn't let me be right.
Vice versa. You're not letting them be right.
I know, it's bad, isn't it?
I know.
But
it's a learning curve, though. Hopefully you don't do it on the next one.
Next one?
I know.
My mental health couldn't handle the next one. My God. Anybody in this room has ever been married, would you get married again? Yeah, look, I think that look, you just look straight at the floor, don't even bother asking me that question.
I've been to people's second marriages, and they're much happier.
Well, because the first time, no.
Everyone's much happier in their second marriage right now.
Why?
There's still problems.
How? No.
Because they know how to do things better.
Honestly,
they drop
I could spend about 3 hours telling you how crap the divorce was.
You dropped the ball too much in the first one as well. You're half to blame.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I wasn't. But why would you want to put yourself through all that pain?
Because you might meet someone who's lovely.
Again?
You reckon being by yourself is better?
Yeah.
You already know the answer to that question.
Yes and no.
You just want to be right.
No, no, it's not about. Obviously, going through certain things that I went through, it's like, why would you open yourself up to it again?
Because, like I said this before, when you're driving a car, you're only looking forward.
Yeah.
And you can see the massive, massive piece of glass in front of you, and you can see the road. But what you're doing is going into a relationship and still looking in the wind mirror. It used to be like that. Instead of seeing this.
All right, perfect example.
Let's do it.
Right. So if you got burnt on a bonfire, would you go and stick your hand in it again? No, you wouldn't. Why? It's the exact same as your mental health. If you burnt yourself on a bonfire, would you go and do it again?
The funny thing when saying that is that people are not bonfires. You don't know who's going to come into your life that literally is going to be the most soothing. You could go out with someone who's aloe vera and they literally cool you down. You got burns all over your body, but all they care about is making sure they're healing you and then making you feel special and making you feel better.
I can't swear on a live podcast.
No, you can't do, because you get annoyed because I turn things around. Because the funny thing is with you guys that you are very honest, very emotional, and very caring. But those things is also flawed because you are guided by your emotions and not guided by actual solutions. You are for other people, amazing, but yourself.
Yeah, I can't take my own advice. Clearly, that's why I'm in half the drama.
Hey Scott, we're going to come to you for advice. Would you take it? No. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm going to say, you're not the only one. We are all the same. You can't tickle yourself. Same as you can't take your own advice.
Yeah. So, right. You obviously know the full story of what's happened. Would you, knowing what I've been through, what I'm still going through with my ex, all the crap and all the stuff that's damaging the kids and dragging things up that 20 years ago, would you want to do that again?
Yeah, because like a house that has horrible wallpaper, you can take it down and you can paint the wall again. And it's different. It's not the same.
But with knowing, obviously...
Yeah, I know.
Would you honestly go
Yeah, I
through it
know.
again?
I know. I know some of the stuff. I know some terrible relationships that I've been through, my friends have been through, and they coming out the other side and meeting someone else. I'm like, that's the person you're supposed to meet? Yes! Oh my God. Is it perfect? No. There's always outside, stuff that's going on. But there is someone, if you come out of something and it's terrible, there is someone that just is so much light. It's so much, and they give you something you could never.
That, but I don't think.
Of course, because you're not in it. Because there's a million bad ones, but probably like a handful of good ones. But if you meet a good one, and you treat them well, not in the sense of judging them on what your past was, you treat them well in this moment and in the future. You put a full stop and you move them forward. Not about your past. Your past is there. You can't do anything
I know,
about it.
obviously, you shouldn't be, as they say, you shouldn't be looking behind you, but. To protect yourself.
No, get rid of protecting yourself.
What?
Stop it.
I don't think I could survive going to that dark place again.
But what if you're in a situation and that person just makes you the best version of you? Right now, you keep on saying, I can do it well by myself. I'm an independent man. You know what I mean? Great, right?
Yeah.
Great. But you're half a man without a partner. It's just true. I make so many better decisions being in a relationship, good or bad, right, than I do on my own.
So obviously you've been hurt in relationships, right?
Yes.
Right. Why do you keep doing it?
Because I learned so much more about people. And every single time people like to think that the reason why someone hurts you is because of you. It's never because of you. It's always them.
How?
And it's always that they're hurting way much more and they don't know how to not hurt back. They don't know sometimes about a loving family that they might have not come from, or how to be able to talk to friends and family about problems or emotions that are going on. And they don't know. And when there's someone kind in front of them, they take it for granted. They might leave you because you're too kind and too nice. They might think you're insincere, but you're just kind and nice. And those people sometimes just punch out. They just find it really, really difficult. People hurt you because you allow them to hurt you. Who was it? Someone said the other day, they said, I can't remember, they said, we give so much meaning to things, right, and words. But if someone swears at you in a different language, you don't understand it. It doesn't mean anything, does it?
No.
I have no idea what you're saying. So
you
the
mean
words
you're trying to tell me I need to go out with a foreign person?
So the words you're saying and words that are being, you're giving it meaning.
Right.
Well, you're destroying yourself by making sure that these words are hurting you with the same words in a different language, meaning the same things you didn't care about. So there is potential that you don't have to care about those situations that happened in your life as much. I'm just saying that the element is you have such trauma about relationships that nothing is going to change that until you meet someone who's kind, and that will change that.
Well, hopefully we'll still be doing these podcasts and we'll see.
Mate, I ain't got all my life.
Right now, I think it's overrated. I would prefer my mental health to be better than
because you don't have it. That's why. And the problem is that fire is still burning of hatred because you haven't got anyone to just pour water over it, and still there. You know what I mean? Of whatever.
I daily go through it. Daily.
Yeah, of course you do. Well, this is what I've said. I said it's just like so many people, and it's too late for you. It's too late for few people in the room. But because in a sense, like, people have done what they've done. They've got with people. I encourage people from now on, at your age, and you're not married, I encourage you to marry the nicest person you have ever met. The nicest. All right? And have children with them. And I guarantee that you might get bored. I guarantee that you might feel like, oh, I don't know if I was attracted to you. You know, I mean, I don't know if our sex life is going to be great, or blah, blah, blah. But yeah, anyway, you can do that. Have children with them. And if it doesn't work, say it does work, great. If it doesn't work and you split it up, your children and you were married and are now still friends with the nicest person you've ever met, and then go and meet dickheads.
He's just money.
And then go in there, okay. Then go and marry people that are horrible and stuff like that. You didn't have kids with them. Go out and with those people that are trashy and horrible and going to treat you badly, blah, blah, blah. But your go-to on your children and everything like that is with someone who's so kind. The nicest person. And I tell you what, all my friends, a lot of them did. It's right, they're divorced now, so it's fine. They got with people that are horrible. They had kids with people that are horrible. And now, guess who they're with? The nicest person ever. But they didn't have kids with them. Because they already had the kids with the horrible person. They already had that moment. 10 years past and, age and stuff like that. But we are getting it wrong. We are getting it wrong. In a situation of that. We want to be in love. Move your phone. It's fine. I can hear it. People just always texting you, isn't it? Right? But I feel like in society, we're always looking for that, I want to feel, that thing. And I tell you what, that fire and ice that we keep on looking for is just the worst. It's just so toxic.
So my scenario of being burnt then doesn't work.
Your scenario of what you did in the moment, and you how long were you with your partner for?
Well, just under 20 years.
Mate, try and find people in the next 20 years that people are staying together for 20 years from now. I guarantee that's not going to happen. That is to be applauded that you did that.
Well, I put up with her that long.
And she put up with you as well. Don't get
Yeah, no, fairness, she did.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of flaws.
If you could take away, and we'll finish soon, but if you could take away that feeling that you have towards a person, whoever that is, right? And you could just get on. Would you choose that?
Yeah.
Can you not make that happen?
No.
Are you choosing not to make that happen?
No, it wasn't for the lack of trying.
No. Just let everything go. She wins everything. Wins all time.
What you mean, forget everything that's happened?
Everything. Everything.
No, I can't.
Well, then you're doing it to yourself. That's really harsh. And
it's not what's the things.
I don't want to go into specifics. I don't want to.
But there's things when you become a parent. It's things that your partner does to hurt your kids. That's the bit. What they've done to me, yes, 100%.
Yeah. But once the kids have been burnt,
they've been burnt already. Like a responsibility that you should.
No. But it's still it's not going to serve you well. I tell you, it's not going to serve you well. You need to drop everything. You need to stop everything now. Because it's not going to serve you well, and you've already told about your kids and stuff there. Not going to serve them well. This learned behavior does not do great. There's a learned behavior in my family. It's disgusting. I'm not going into details, but it's bad. Learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not great. And you can get sucked in because you're like, that's the way things are. No, it's not. No, it's not. I like kids to learn from good times, bad times.
I've just learned from the mistakes that I've made.
Within reason. They'll make their own. Like you said,
ones that I
everything they do now, you've done. And they're like, oh, you wouldn't have done it. You're like, I did that.
Yeah, done it twice.
Yeah. But I feel that you have the capacity, and everyone in this room, myself, everything like that, right? In the end, really, and I have to take this advice myself. There's some stuff going on myself. You just have to let it go. You really do. Because it affects you, them, everyone. Everyone. For your feelings, I'm not being harsh. It's selfish. It's selfish as hell. It is not fair. And you're causing so much. It's a bit like sometimes, this is not you, just royal you. So all of us. We want to win or want to be seen as the victors, and we'll burn the house down for that.
Yeah. Everyone sees themselves as the victim.
Mate, you're not. You're nothing. None of us are important. The thing is, I watched the film, and if you haven't watched it in this room, go and watch it. It just won the Oscar for Best Film, okay? I watched it before it won that. I watched it. I own it. I've watched it at the cinema by myself. One of the 2 films I watched by myself at the cinema. Watched it last night. And there's an element, it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? And there's an element in there and Caroline Flack said it. If you can't be anything else, just be kind, even to the ones that don't deserve it.
I get that theory, but it's hard, though. I do get why.
And where do we go back?
Yeah.
That hard road. Not the easy road. It's so much easier to be like, I win, I do this, I'll say stuff about you, you say stuff about me. No. Be clever. You're allowed to lose your rubbish. You're allowed to lose your crap, right? You're allowed to. But in the end, you have to fix it.
I think time's a good healer. Let's see where we're at.
Or worse. If you don't talk to someone for a long
So if
time.
I got married again, would you sing that? Sing at the wedding?
I don't do sing at weddings, but I would sing at yours. Because I care about you. The reason why I'm here, Scott, the reason why I come and do this is because I care about you.
I can't cry on live TV.
I know, but you know, it's fine. But no, that's the funny thing. And it's so stupid. I've known you for a long time. We don't hang out socially that much and stuff like that. And I take time out of my very busy life. My friends are going to be like, what? Right? Walking your dog. Oh, well busy. I take time out of my busy life to come and sit here and chat and verse with you on the highest moments you've had and the lowest moments you've had that I've seen over this time. I do it because I care about you. I do it because I think you're important. I do it because I now have met your kids, so there's an investment of just like, wait a minute, this is someone's dad. To me, you were just Scott before, but then I was like, and then I met your dad. I was like, wait a minute, that's someone's son.
That also answers a lot of questions, right?
Fair, but that's parents gonna mess you up, good or bad, and make a difference, right? And that's what's the most important thing. And do I sit here and do I tell you that I care about you? And the reason why I do this is because I think that you're a really nice guy? No. So when I do say it, it's meant. And so what I want you to do at home is I want you to tell someone that you care about them. I want you to say that they matter. You don't have to buy flowers or chocolates or something. You know, go out for dinner or something. Just tell them. Just say, hey. Ask them what their favorite memory is of you. Those things. Get them to think.
Yeah, rather than see the negative, try and think of a positive.
There's loads of negative.
Yeah.
There's so many positives.
On that note,
yes,
we best wrap the show up.
We should do, and we'll be back.
Sat at home live. We've got millions of viewers watching live.
There's
right
12.
now.
There's 12. It's fine. Don't worry.
How many have we got?
12. I don't want to know.
I do.
Really? 52. 7.
7 watching live.
Mate. And one of us is me. I've been streaming at my phone the whole time. No, I haven't. It's fine.
That's my bubble.
But you can then also watch this afterwards if you didn't get to catch it live and stuff like that. There's so many stuff in there. And if you want to be on the show, you want to talk to us, feel free to write down in comments that you'd like to do that. We want as many guests as we can.
Yep.
Help as many people. This guy has been through so much, and if you've got any questions, he can help you and guide you to places. And if you need your flooring done, also ask him, because apparently that's what happened to me.
Yeah, Chester, you owe me. All right, guys, we're going to finish there. Thank you very much for the 7 of you that is watching live.
That's fine.
Oh, we have now 350 subscribers.
Bing bong.
We was live with 350 subscribers.
We did well. We did well, and this is it. We'll do this more, and that's why I said we'll do this to 100 podcasts and beyond, because that's how much it takes. Because it's not the easy road. There's no easy road.
No, this hasn't been an easy road.
No,
it definitely hasn't.
It's a long road.
But thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Ciao. I'm the only one who said dickhead. So.
And we're still live.